the human race, one of Earth's most advanced species to date. Humans have done amazing things. We've created cars, and airplanes, and buildings, and vaccines, and some humans even make other humans. Now, when you look at the human race as a whole, it really is an amazing, intelligent species. But then when you look at a few humans in particular, you realize there are some really stupid humans too. And this global pandemic has really showcased these stupid humans. Coming from someone who is currently recovering from the virus after having it for almost 2 weeks, I can tell you, it's not something you want to have. My symptoms were very mild, and still, it was horrible. So it is very important whenever you go in public to stay 6 feet apart from people, sanitize your hands whenever possible, and wear a mask. And that is going to be the center of today's video. I love to sew. I love to make things. I've always loved doing that. And one thing that I found really enjoyable is making masks out of everyday materials that I have laying around. It's very easy to make a mask yourself. And even if you don't want to make a mask, they're really cheap. You can go on Amazon and get like 10 for $10. Even if you don't want to make your own mask, or maybe you don't have all the materials like a sewing machine, or you don't know how to hand sew, that's fine. Go on Amazon and get a mask. They're extremely affordable, and they take a few days to get in. Most of my masks that I have are from Amazon, and I've maybe spent like $10 in total on everything. But I also have Prime, so without further ado, let's get into the video and make a mask.
So this is the shape of the pattern that I'm using. It's really easy to work with, and really just make sure that it fits your face. Like, don't have it be too small that when you cut out your fabric, it barely covers your face, and don't have it too big that it covers your entire face. So the first thing I'm doing is cutting out the pattern that I drew on some paper. It's the same shape as the pattern I got off of Google. Hold it up to your face and see if it's a decent size. Today I'm making my mask out of an old cheer shirt. Yes, I cheered freshman year of high school. We don't need to talk about that. Pin your pattern to the shirt. Fold the shirt depending on how many layers you want in your mask. I folded the shirt over twice, which left me with 4 pieces to make my mask with. Now I'm cutting it out. If you're having trouble cutting the fabric, just imagine that the fabric is all the toxic people in your life, and you're cutting them out. Now it's much easier to cut the fabric. Now do me a favor and get rid of the toxic people too. It's not good for you. I'm taking all the pins out and making sure all 4 pieces aren't the same size. Now I'm pinning them together along the curved side of the pattern so it creates a rounded shape. Next I go along the sides and pin them down, making a hem. You can't really see what I'm doing, but who's actually going to take this seriously, huh? No one, so it doesn't matter. But if you really care so much, then know now that I'm sewing the pieces together along the curved part of the mask. This part is really easy if you know how to sew. And if you don't know how to sew, I recommend that you go learn how to sew before you watch any of my videos, because I know how to sew, and most of my videos are about knowing how to sew. So what I just did while explaining that I know how to sew was hem it. That's really easy. If you know how to sew, you know what a hem is. And if you don't know how to sew, you probably still know what a hem is, because a hem is a very basic concept. Now I'm sewing a hem on the bottom part of the mask to make sure that there's no frayed edges and that it's neat. Now examine your mask and think, wow, I didn't do that bad. Try it on your face if you want to. Now I'm just cutting off all the excess fabric that was left on the hem so that I don't have a bunch of fabric rubbing against my face whenever I wear my mask. Now I'm cutting off the hem from my black cheer shirt so that I kind of have like this long noodle of fabric, and I stretch it out a little bit to make it even longer. Now take your long noodle of fabric that you just cut out and cut it in half. Now take those 2 halves and cut those in half so you're left with 4 pieces. On each end of the mask, lay down 2 strips of the fabric onto it and pin it down. I guess that's what I'm doing right here. I don't really know. Doing this is going to allow you to be able to adjust the size of your mask kind of so that you can tie it around your ears so that it fits your face right. Now I'm doing the exact same thing I just explained onto the other side of the mask so that I have 4 ties on each side. No, 4 ties in total, 2 on each side.
Now you have a mask.
Hi, it's Tanner from the future editing right now, and I just want to say that that clip was me for like 5 minutes talking about what I did with the mask. But my face wasn't in any of the shots, so I cut it. And after I finished filming, I didn't check, which is a mistake on my part. But I'm just here to tell you that what I was basically explaining was that I was about to try to embroider some flowers onto the mask, which you're about to see, because that came out as a good shot. I don't know how to embroider. I still, even after doing that, because I already made the mask now, because I'm in the future, still don't know how to embroider. It's gonna look really bad. So whenever I said I don't know how to embroider, I meant it, and I'm just kind of winging it. I watched a little video that was like 2 seconds long, and it was helpful, but now I'm just kind of doing whatever with it. trying to make a flower. So then I'll have to go back here. Here's the part of the video where you see me struggling because I do not know how to embroider. I've never learned how to embroider. I've never embroidered before. This is my first time and it came out horrible. So this kind of sucks, but it's alright. We're gonna keep going with it. Tanner did keep going with it, like she said, and even though she tried her best to make the flowers look good and she followed the video step by step, they still came out looking like trash. So here's what I have. And for my first time embroidering anything, I don't think it's horrible, but does it look horrible? Yes. I was originally gonna put these little flowers all over the mask, but it took me like 30 minutes just to do these little leaves. And for how bad they look, I don't want to waste any more time on that. So I'm gonna say I'm finished. So here's my mask. It's kind of sad with the two little embroidered flowers on it. I tried my best, but they still suck, but that's alright. Obviously, I'm not going to be using this mask all the time because I do have other masks like that one. But this is just a good little backup. I'm probably going to make another one without the embroidered flowers on it though because these are embarrassing and I don't want to go in public with these on. I will say, this is like a last resort mask. If you don't have anything else, if you don't have any other mask and you have to go somewhere really quick, make a quick t-shirt mask. They're simple, they're easy. But if you're able to get any other kind of mask, something like this that you can buy that's like double layered, definitely do that instead of making a t-shirt mask to use all the time. Because while this is pretty good at preventing anything from coming in and out, it's still not as good as something that you could buy off of Amazon for, you know, a decent price. This was just a fun little tutorial that I thought I'd enjoy making, and I did. So if you liked this video and you want to see more, I don't know, subscribe if you like me, and if you don't like me, then don't subscribe because I don't want you here. Bye, love you.